My roommate's boyfriend lived with us rent-free for a year, so I made sure he finally paid up. My roommate's boyfriend Tyler treats our apartment like his personal Airbnb, except Airbnb guests actually pay and eventually leave. It started with Jenny asking if Tyler could crash just for the weekend after his roommates kicked him out. That was 14 months ago. Now he's got a whole drawer in our bathroom, his PS5 permanently hooked to our living room TV, and somehow my grocery bill has tripled while my food keeps vanishing. The man has turned freeloading into an art form. Last Tuesday, I meal prepped 6 containers of chicken teriyaki for the week. By Wednesday, all that remained were empty Tupperware containers in the sink that weren't even rinsed. When I confronted him, mouthful of my last container, he actually said, "Oh, these were yours?" I thought food in the fridge was for everyone. It's for everyone who pays rent, Tyler, which you don't. But the food theft is almost quaint compared to his 3 a.m. party schedule. 2 weeks ago, I had a final exam at 8 a.m. At 2:47 a.m., Tyler rolls in with 6 buddies, blasting music and playing beer pong on our dining table. When I stumbled out begging them to keep it down, he laughed. "Relax, princess. Not everyone operates on your little school schedule." I looked at Jenny for backup. She just shrugged. The financial situation is what really burns. Our rent is $1,800 split 2 ways, except Jenny's been paying Tyler's half of her half because he's between jobs. He's been between jobs since Obama's second term. Meanwhile, his Instagram shows him at concerts, buying new Jordans, and eating at restaurants I can't afford because I'm paying $900 to live with 2 people. The breaking point came last Monday. I'd saved for 2 months to buy noise-canceling headphones for studying. Left them on my desk Sunday night. Monday morning, gone. Found Tyler wearing them on his Instagram story, telling people about his new headphones. When I demanded them back, he said, "Chill, I'm just borrowing them." Jenny said it was cool. Jenny hadn't even been home. That's when I realized Tyler wasn't going to leave on his own. Jenny wasn't going to make him. He'd squat here forever, eating my food, stealing my stuff, treating me like the inconvenience in my own home. So if he wanted to live here so badly, it was time he learned what that actually cost. I spent the next 3 days documenting everything. Every grocery receipt since Tyler arrived, every utility bill showing the massive spikes, photos of my missing items in his possession. Then I discovered something beautiful. Tyler had been running a cash-based tutoring business from our apartment, meeting clients in our living room while we were at work. Mrs. Penn from 2B mentioned she'd hired him for her son's SAT prep for $80 an hour, cash only. 5 other neighbors confirmed similar arrangements. The freeloading boyfriend was making serious money while claiming he couldn't afford groceries. I calculated 14 months of expenses that came out to $5,000 in food and $9,000 in rent. But the real ammunition came from our lease agreement. I prepared everything meticulously and then announced a mandatory house meeting. Tyler slouched on our couch in yesterday's clothes, annoyed at being awake before noon. Jenny sat beside him, already defensive and asking, "What's your problem now?" I placed a thick folder on the coffee table. "Tyler, we need to discuss your tenancy." He scoffed, but I continued, pulling out receipt after receipt. "You've missed $14,000 in accumulated costs while making $5,000 a month from your tutoring business." Jenny's eyes widened and the color drained from his face. "You've been making $60,000 a year?" Jenny turned to him with her voice shaking. "But you said you couldn't afford anything. I've been paying your portion." I slid the final document across the table, a notarized letter from our landlord. "He's given us 10 days to resolve the unauthorized occupancy or we're all evicted." Tyler grabbed the letter, hands trembling. "This is insane. You can't just—" "I already did. Building management knows about your business. They're checking whether or not you reported your income. The IRS might be interested too." Jenny stood up, tears streaming. "You told me you were broke." "I emptied my savings." Tyler turned to her, stammering excuses, but she was already packing his things, throwing clothes into garbage bags. "Get out, now." He tried to argue, but Jenny had transformed from enabler to enforcer. 14 months, Tyler. I ate ramen while you made $5,000 a month. By evening, Tyler was loading his car, Jenny tossing his belongings from our balcony. The other tutoring parents had been notified their teacher was operating illegally from a residential unit, so his cash cow had dried up overnight. Tyler's been couch surfing for 3 weeks now, calling Jenny 40 times a day from different numbers. She used his tutoring fund to take herself on a nice vacation.